You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The Herons are champs. Yeah. Roll south to Freedom Park, rocking pink and black. Official tissue in the 305, bounty full of greats. The Battered Fan with Chris and Dan dropping hot takes. Messi and the Herons start the season with a star on the crest, so 29 fan bases can cry, cause we the best. Sign homegrowns like Noah, Frey and Ruiz, replacing goats with greats. Yeah, Miles got the cheese and he called freedom to dream was the backbone. From Lockhart to Miami, it feels good to be at home. Multiple times a week on YouTube and audio. Take the time to subscribe, like and share the show. So check and chat, grab your MLS cup and coming. No question about it, I'm ready to get a star again.
No question about it. I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 478 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
I can't start it any other way by saying that we need Drake Callender and Gressel. That's how we're gonna start it off today, guys.
Está bien.
And shout out to Abetico. Shout out to
Abetico
Abetico becoming a new member. Much
Oh,
appreciated.
speaking of which, everybody that's part of the Battered family, because that's what the membership is called. If you are a member, you're part of the Battered family. We figured it out. Thank you. I don't know, Chris, if you remember who was that was helping you work through it. But we figured out what the issue was when I was telling you that it was
Arturo.
that I was telling you that
Yep.
Arturo, shout out to Arturo, that we were putting at $4.99 and for some reason it was showing up at $6.99. So as it turns out, if you are doing it through the YouTube app, we have no idea why it does it, but if you are signing up for membership through the YouTube app, it's charging $6.99. I've tried to figure out why. I haven't been able to, but if you do it through the regular web browser, so if you get on a laptop or just get on youtube.com somewhere and you sign in that way, it shows up as the regular $4.99. So I just wanted to make sure that in case anybody was considering it, $4.99 through the YouTube browser, and we're going to drop that first show next Tuesday. So we're starting on Tuesday of next week.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
Now, I'm not sure what Danny Second Division really. I'm not sure what this means, but sure.
We'll get into
let's see.
And this was a comment I saw before starting the show. SPM says Inter needs to spend $3 million or they lose the money. So that's something I guess that we can go over later. We haven't really dug into the numbers, but it's tough.
So today, we thought that the training camp, at least the date that I had seen, was today. Apparently, they report on Saturday. So on Saturday, they report, and then the following Saturdays, just 7 days later, they have their first preseason game. So that's it, Chris.
Yes.
Back to post games and games that we're going to be watching. So it's coming quick. They're going to go to Peru 7 days after that to play their first game. But we decided, because I was looking at this team, because we were talking about, and especially for the Spanish show, we were talking with Xavier and Solana. We're like, what could we talk about this week? Not a lot of things going on. And then Xavier's like, we should start about who's going to be the starting 11. And I still really started looking at the starting 11 and looking at the offseason moves. And I thought, you know what? This team does have some flaws. And Bella saying every club has flaws. This is true. But there was a point in this season where we were worried that this team wouldn't be enough. And it was because certain flaws. And I don't know if we have worked through those flaws going into this season. So I wanted to get into that. I don't know if there's anything else that before we get into that you want to touch on, Chris. We talked about the memberships.
Well, and I guess before we get into that, the fact that there's a game next Saturday, like that's wild, right? I mean, we're a month removed from winning the championship, and there's a game, preseason game against Alianza Lima in Peru. And then a week later, you get to watch them play Atlético Nacional in Colombia. And then a week later after that, you get to watch them play against Barcelona de Guayaquil in Ecuador. That's gonna be fun.
That is gonna be fun. I remember us talking. So it's funny because we've done this again. This is our 5th season. So for those of you that are not aware, we've been doing this for 5 seasons now. And we've obviously covered the preseasons in the past. And the last 2 have been very entertaining for different reasons. Now, Chris, I don't know if you remember 2 years ago, it was the world tour. Do you remember the world tour? And what a disaster that was?
It was a mess. That was a complete mess.
So we went through the world tour 2 years ago. Messi didn't play one of the games. You had people like kicking his head off of cardboards. Like it was pretty crazy. We got our ass kicked in Saudi Arabia. Like it was just really bad.
Yes.
And then we had last year where Mascherano made his debut and we didn't lose a single preseason game. And everybody was like, oh. Mascherano is the guy. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And that turned on its head quickly. But so 2 completely different preseason experiences. Last year, we got our first of the treble trophies. Remember last year?
Yes,
We got the Vegas trophy in the Club America Vegas game.
Penalties for that.
And Rocco Blocco came to life. That's the first view of Rocco Blocco. So the preseason, although preseason doesn't matter, it doesn't count. We've had some interesting preseason games the last 2 years. We've had some fun on the show because of those games. So I'm looking forward to a lot of that starting next week also.
Yeah, and not only that, but the fact that there's still the Tristan Blackmon news out there. I mean, we're dissecting the palms on a palm tree to be able to figure out where's Waldo. I mean, sure, it is. I mean, look at that.
So shout out to Luis. That's right, reporter guy. And I were talking about this. And he was like, did you see the picture Tristan Blackmon put up? And I go, yeah, those look like LA palm trees. He goes,
they do.
I don't think so. I was like, I don't know, man. I've never seen palm trees that look like that in Miami. Usually when I see palm trees like this, they're like in LA. And then I started talking to some other people. They were like, no, that might be Vegas, because apparently he's from Vegas. So I don't know. I've been to Vegas once, didn't pay too much attention to the palm trees, but to me, they were West Coast palm trees. So I don't know if Tristan Blackmon's trying to troll people at this point, but very entertaining that we've managed to start dissecting pictures of palm trees. And, you know, it's always fun. I think the drama is always fun.
I love stuff like this where people take pictures and you're trying to dissect the geography of it all. Like, where are those trees? Where was the sun reflecting at the time of the picture?
Hey, shout out to the OGs that were here with us for the preseason of the 2023 season when we were trying to break down the Pozuelo stationary bicycle on a balcony picture. Remember that?
Yes.
That picture on Instagram? We're like, oh, that's a balcony. That's a Miami balcony. Oh, he's on.
Yes.
So we've look, every time I think about all the stuff that we've gone through, 478 episodes in, man, we've talked a lot of stuff. So. All right. So I don't know if there's any more housekeeping before you want to get into the nitty gritty of this.
No, I mean, aside from that, I mean, Miami King is bringing up a pretty big comment here. Blackmon didn't join Vancouver team for health check. I mean, look, he's the defensive player of the year. I think he could do whatever he wants at this point, right?
No.
But no.
I think if Vancouver was smart, they'd sell. Now, they don't want to sell to Miami. That's one thing. But I'd sell because with his injury history, like nobody had that guy pegged as fucking defensive player of the year before last year started. That came out of nowhere. And even then, he missed the last quarter of the year. If I was Vancouver, and they have depth at center back, like they have good center back depth already, I'd sell high on him because this is the highest his value is ever going to be. And real quick, now that I was talking about random depth at center back, if you want to keep talking a little MLS, after this show's over, we're going to go on Battered MLS Fans. We're talking about the most underrated MLS players in the league for 2026, in case any of you guys are interested in finding out a little bit more about the league and some underrated players. Okay, Chris.
I was basically gonna mention in terms of, I guess, Blackmon, look, doing the health check. I mean, I guess he should be doing that. I mean, Kevin Hernandez, we got
reporter guy number 2,
assistant to the reporter guy saying, I can confirm Tristan is coming to Miami. I mean, guys, Kevin Hernandez is confirming it live here. Breaking news.
That's it. We got 2 reporter guys now. There he is. And
And
there goes
the
reporter guy. And here is the reporter guy, Luis. So it's happening. So
it's
get ready.
definitely going down.
All right.
So I can't wait to break down these flaws that we have, Danny, because we were talking on the phone about what we were going to go over, and you mentioned going over flaws, and you kind of stumped me a little bit because we have Messi.
Yeah. And would Mike McCoy? Well, look, we could talk about the starting lineup because if Tristan Blackmon comes, there's some interesting topics to be had. Because at that point, you can consider possibly playing 3 in the back with wing backs, with Mura and I'm blanking on Region on the left, playing as a wing back. Like, there's different things that you could possibly do. But we'll see.
But
Once
Mikael
Tristan
would
Blackmon
start on
becomes
the left because he's left-footed. No.
Yeah, but when you have 3 center backs, you have him on the left, Falcon in the middle. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. But and shout out to 89J Stubbs. I saw that the 1990 Colombian Adidas. Yes, I saw that. I lost my train of thought. I was talking about the possible 3 in the back. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So those are conversations we can have. We're not going to have them today. I know that Reporter Guy and Reporter Guy 2 are saying that he's coming, but until he does, we already spent we even had a guest on talking about Tristan Blackmon. If you missed it last Wednesday, we were talking about his profile, how he fits with the team. So we got ahead of ourselves. So if he comes, we'll keep talking about it. But I think we've spent too much time talking about Blackmon without him being officially here.
So, I mean, talking about the attack or the lack of attack, right? Flaws, whatever it is, right? I mean, we're essentially looking at the top 3 how we did last time, where it was Messi, and it was going to be Messi, Silvetti. No, Silvetti's not going to get the start. Okay, Messi, Silvetti, and Tadeo Allende, because you're not counting Luis Suarez as a starter. So those are what you would consider the starters, no?
All right. Well, and then Luis saying, let's talk about formations. We are not today, but that's the topic of conversation, especially if Tristan Blackmon officially comes on here. That's definitely a conversation we're gonna have to have because I think that might just switch everything around. No, I don't believe that. So here we go. When I was looking at this offseason and really like looking at what they've done this offseason, who have they brought in?
Defensive players.
They brought in Sinclair. They brought in Mikael. They brought in Mura. They brought in Region. They brought in Ayala, which is a defensive midfielder.
Yes.
They haven't brought anything for the attack. They lost Baltasar. Luis Suarez, which was our starting striker, people are expecting isn't going to start. I started thinking, I was like, is this attack really going to be as good as we're hoping it is? Because I think that we're resting on what we saw in the playoffs. That's what we're counting on. But when you really think of it, what did we see in the playoffs? We saw Allende playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
Are you expecting him to do that for a full season? Because we saw more bad than good out of Allende.
The problem is that all the good we saw is super recent and super important good. Like, if you're asking me what my opinion is or what I believe if he's going to play like this throughout an entire season, I don't believe that. But recency bias suggests that he will. Like, I mean, Baltasar, by the way, I'm sorry to cut you off here. Baltasar's still kind of out there. Like, we can still grab him.
I'm going to get to Baltasar, or as we like to call him, Belisario Machuca. We're going to get to Belisario Machuca in a moment. But I wanted to start on the right side with Allende. We're really putting a lot on Allende keeping this form. What if he doesn't? What if he goes back to the pumpkin?
Yeah. What if he decides to blow all his opportunities that Messi is granting him?
Do we have a backup right wing?
No, because Fafa's out of here.
So that is one issue I see at right wing. Then we go over to the left wing. We have Silvetti. Everybody's hyped for Silvetti. I also think he looked pretty good. How many games did he really play with us?
I think he only played about 5 or 6. Well, including the playoffs, I'd say somewhere around that number. Let me double check.
Double check that. We didn't see him for a very long time. We have no idea if Silvetti can be this guy consistently. So I don't know. He's what, like 19, 20 years old? And then shout out to Josue, air complaining. I'm just calling it how I see it, Josue. I remember me complaining about this team when they beat, who was it? Columbus 5-1. Because sometimes you got to just look to see what's in front of you.
I'll tell you right now, Silvetti played a total of 3 games in the regular season. He started one. That's regular season. Then you have the playoffs where he played I don't know if he played the 3 Nashville.
No.
Let me see here. In the MLS Cup playoffs, he ended up, let's see here. Yeah, it's not.
He didn't play the first 2 games in Nashville. So he played the 3rd game in Nashville, Cincinnati, NYCFC, and the final. So he played, 7 games all year?
Yeah. Silvetti actually played 6, started him 4 in the playoffs.
Okay. So this is what we're banking on. We're banking on Allende keeping form. We're banking on Silvetti being what we hope he is, right? Because we saw it for a short glimpse. But if you go back to the beginning of last year, after the first 6 games of Allende, what did we think of Allende?
No, yeah, we thought he was a monster.
That's it, yeah. I'm not saying Silvetti won't be that. I'm saying right now we're feeling a little overconfident. I feel, or at least maybe it's me. Go ahead.
I want to mention something here, because at some point when Silvetti came and played, we had done a couple post games and we're like, this guy's going to take Allende's job. Like that, at some point, he was going to be Allende's replacement. And now we're looking at it as these two, I don't want to say inconsistent. I mean, I don't want to speak like that about Silvetti. He hasn't had enough opportunity. But aside from that, like, there is inconsistency there. One, there's the unknown of Silvetti, whether you're going to get the consistency. And then 2, you have the unknown of Allende, because you know that there's no consistency. So you have a person who is projected to do well based on their performance, which is Allende, but that's recency bias. And then you have Silvetti, who was a flash in the pan technically, but you just haven't seen enough to be able to say that's going to be my guy for the entire year. Like Baltasar Rodriguez is a phenomenal player too. We haven't even talked about Segovia.
I'm going to get into them in a second.
Oh my God.
89 J Stubbs. How many goals did we score last year? LOL. We scored, I believe it was 81, and 13 of those came in the last, and I'm talking regular season. 13 of those came in the last 3 games. Don't tell me that you weren't doubting this offense throughout the year. There was a stretch there where we were winning, like 1-0, drawing 1-1, losing 4-1. Remember that game against Columbus where we played in Cleveland, where the only reason we won was because of the Benjamin Kremaki flying header? Like, this team has had its issues in the attack, because when Allende isn't playing well, when the left wing isn't playing well, and all they do is send 3 or 4 men to mark Messi, all of a sudden we look stagnant. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying, I feel like I started thinking about it. Like, I think we might be a little overconfident. We're banking on Allende. We're banking on Silvetti. I think these are 2 unknowns. I don't know if Allende can keep up what he did last year. I don't know if Silvetti can do this for more than 6 or 7 games at a time. So, and look, I'm fine if you go ahead.
As Isaiah is saying, I'm confident in Silvetti. And it's funny because I have more confidence in Silvetti than I do in reality with Allende. And Allende is the one that put out the most in the most important time, which is kind of crazy.
101 goals last year. Well, that's including the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's including the playoffs. And we know that Allende played out of his mind in the playoffs. And like I said, if he ends up keeping his form, there's nothing to worry about. If Allende plays like that Allende throughout the whole season, there is nothing to worry about. But
we also have Messi. We also have Messi, Danny.
All right, but don't tell me that even when Messi was playing, we had moments where we looked bad in the attack. Yes. They would send 3 to 4 men in to mark him, and then we were lost. We needed like a moment here and a moment there. It'd be like 2 moments of Messi magic, and then we would win 2-1.
Okay. I'm going to go over a couple options here because we still haven't talked about Segovia, right? We haven't talked about whether we're going to have Baltasar or not,
Let's say we have Baltasar Rodriguez. What was the issue with Baltasar Rodriguez last year?
Well, there's two, right? One was the injury that he picked up, right? It was knocking him out. The second was being played at the wing versus being played midfield.
Baltasar's flying at the wing. The thing with Baltasar is he's always injured. He came in and they told us, oh yeah, he's injury prone. He played for 17 minutes his first game. We're like, oh, this guy looks good. 17 minutes in. And then he was out for a couple
South with Obando.
So we have Allende. We're praying that he can keep it going. Maybe he can.
He's the only one there, by the way, on the right side. He's the only one.
There's no backup. Then we have Silbetti. 6 games. That's it. We got 6 games out of him. We're banking on him. That's it. We've got this figured out with him. And then his backup is Baltasar Rodriguez, who has a reserved room already at Baptist Health. Like, we need some depth at the wings because we're thin out there, and I don't know what to expect from these guys.
Baltasar Rodriguez started 6 games and he played 14. Had a total of 614 minutes. 3 goals accounted for in the regular season. We do have Suarez as a backup, technically, in our fake starting 11 here, Danny.
We're hoping that whatever Mascherano throws out there, it's going to be Messi at the false 9.
I don't know.
I'm hearing words here and there that are supporting what you're saying, Chris. I've heard little rumblings here and there that Suarez might be a starter. So it's one of two things. Either Suarez is our backup, or even worse, he's our starter. And guess what? We don't have a backup striker.
But why are you saying even worse? First of all, we can't even say that we don't have a backup striker because technically, I don't know what's taken Inter Miami so long, but they haven't dismissed Obando into the nether realm. And then on top of that, they still have it open to discuss with him. Obando. So technically, Obando Robando is going to be tremendo Robando. Like, he is un ladrón, really. Mm-hmm. And he is possibly going to be the backup. Now, I just want to go over some options because you went over Baltasar. We still haven't talked about Segovia. And you still haven't brought up one key person that you're missing in the discussion is David Ruiz.
Okay.
David Ruiz at times played wing, but then he got injured. I think it was against Cavalier.
I like David Ruiz. I would have put him. I wouldn't put him at a wing. I'd put him at a wing back, maybe. If we end up going 3 in the back, if we get Tristan Blackmon, maybe. But I wouldn't put him at the wing. No, I wouldn't put him out there. I think he's more of a midfielder.
People are sleeping on David Ruiz because they haven't seen him. And they don't understand that David Ruiz is the sauce of the town.
Well, look, I thought, yes, and Mr. Krabs, I agree with you. I thought Obando's loan ended. Why are people still talking about Obando? Is he back?
He's not back. He hasn't signed any agreement. But like, they didn't dismiss him in that Inter Miami dismissal form that they did on Twitter and Instagram, where they're like, buy Ryan Saylor, buy all these other guys. They still have him there, like pending contract negotiations, I guess.
Shout out to reporter guy Lewis. Yes, 81 regular season plus 20 in the playoffs. Thing is, with this D, we won't need that many goals. If we go back to playing the way we were playing last year when the year started, where we would score 1 and then we would just defend, I'm going to fucking jump off my balcony. Like, we cannot play that way. I like this aggressive way that he started playing towards the end of the year. And no way are we going to try to win defensive games. That's not the way to win in this league. Like, I'm not looking forward to that. I really hope that's not what happens because I'm not a fan of that theory.
Papa's gone, Nicholas. He's gone.
So, like, in the attack, we're talking about just wingers, just forwards. We have Allende on the right, no backup yet, right? The window's still open. We don't know what's going to happen. As of right now, Allende on the right, that's it. On the left, we have Silbetti, a full 6 games with Inter Miami, and we're like, that's it. We got our left wing.
That's our guy.
And then his backup is Belisario Machuca, a.k.a. Baltasar Rodriguez, which spends his nights at Baptist before he goes to training. Like those are our wings right now. And then you can throw Segovia over there technically.
You have to.
But we've seen Segovia out in the wing. But we've seen Segovia out in the wing. That's not where he's best suited. So we'll see Segovia out there, but I don't know if I'm loving Segovia at left wing. We always know that when he plays centrally is when he produces the best. And then at striker we have what? Possibly a false nine Messi, and then we have a Luis Suarez, which is another year removed from being his 2024 self, which I'm assuming isn't going to be very good. It wasn't great last year, even though he did a lot of positives, right? We said he's still a brain, he still can create for others, but I'm sorry. And a year later, I'm assuming he's going to take another step back. Like that's the way Father Time kind of works, right? You don't get better. Like you start slowing down and you start losing a little more. So I'm not as optimistic. Like I think people are a little overconfident right now about the way things are looking.
I want to put things in perspective here real quick. When we talk about Telasco Segovia, okay. And 89J Subs is saying we're going to go up 1-0 and park the batter bus. I mean, I would blow my brains out. Okay.
I have a question for you. I'm sorry, Chris, and don't lose your train
of thought. Okay? We're not doing Pinter talk right now.
But I've seen this so many times. Who is selling you this Pinter thing? Who's telling you that Pinter is going to play a lot?
Change our world. This Pinter guy. Solana's a big Pinter guy. And there's other people in the Inter Miami fandom media world that are selling the Pinter dream.
I am all for academy guys moving up. I love that idea. Pinter isn't moving up and starting for us.
I mean, this guy Daniel Pinter, he's going to save our season.
He's not.
I mean, he wasn't bad. I mean, but he's not going to save our season.
I know, but he's not. Unfortunately, as I look, and I love seeing the young guys move up from the academy. This team isn't going to have a striker from the academy, unfortunately.
Are you Pepto-Bismol Guardiola? Are you ODing on Pepto-Bismol right now? Because yes, it'd be our best midfielder, David Ruiz. I mean, but Pinter, our best 9. Come on, man. Come on. And Sean is saying he's going to get a few spot starts.
I mean,
he got one. He got one.
All right, Chris, I told you not to lose your train of thought. So what were you going to say?
So what I was going to say, I want to put things in perspective here, right? When we talk about Segovia played 1,600 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Suarez played 2,200 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Segovia started 19 games and Suarez started 8 more games, 27. Goal contribution, Suarez had 20 in total, 10 and 10. Segovia had 8 goals and 6 assists in the smaller amount of time versus Luis Suarez having more starting opportunities and having more time in total. Segovia, if you really measure stats and numbers, and you're a numbers guy, I mean, this is just me glancing at this stuff. Segovia did pretty well for us last season.
Well, yeah,
and that's being placed in a
Segovia.
bad position at times.
I like Segovia. I think Segovia is a good player. I just don't think he's a good wing.
I mean, but that's the thing. You know he's going to contribute better in the midfield, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want him to sit at the wing. But in reality, his contribution last season was pretty consistent versus Baldassar injury, Baptist Health, South Florida room, and Silvetti 6 games, Silvetti.
6 games Silvetti. That's what we got right now. Look, if it were me, I'd have Segovia kind of be a duo 8 with Rodrigo De Paul. Just paired box-to-box 8s with Ayala behind them. And that's what I would do in the midfield. If we were running a 4-3-3, have David Ayala as the single pivot, and then have Segovia and Rodrigo De Paul flanking him. That's what I would do.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, you could do that, right? I know Segovia would fit better in the middle next to
DePaul.
Next to DePaul and in front of Ayala.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we got a sore eye at the wing if that's the case.
Well,
And I don't
we're
know
counting on
Obando.
Balisario. So hypothetically, and again, these are all hypotheticals, right? But I enjoy hypothetical talk. This is like sports talk radio, and I enjoy it.
Yes, I love it.
Hypothetically, let's say we put Segovia in the midfield next to DePaul. They're dueling eights, and then they have Ayala as the single pivot behind them. And Bright
Assuming
is
that we do 3 in the middle,
right.
because
Right.
I don't know if Mash is
right.
gonna
We're
do
not.
that either.
Yeah, we don't know if he's going to do that. But let's say we do that, and then we have Bright coming in as a second half sub in the midfield. Okay, so those are our four midfielders that get the playing time. All of a sudden, out on the wings, you have Silvetti Allende starting, and then you have Balisario Machuca or Baltasar Rodriguez, same person, right? AKA, as a backup. That's your depth. That's your depth. And then remember, Silvetti, wasn't he injured? That's why he didn't start playing for us immediately when he first got here.
Correct. Yes, he did come in here injured.
So we have Silvetti and Baltasar Rodriguez holding it down, hopefully, if they can keep walking. And then we have Allende, which, hey, credit to him. He doesn't get injured very much, but we're banking on what we saw in the playoffs to continue. That's what we got right now.
We got 6-start Baltasar. That's what we got.
We got 6 games
Silvetti. 6
games
Silvetti.
And then we have playoff hero Allende.
Adeo Allende.
One-hit wonder, hopefully not. But as of right now, one-run wonder. And then we got Messi, which is Messi. That's kind of like what we lean on, right? That last year when we had a hard time, Messi is what we kind of leaned on, and he got us through, right? But luckily, our defenses should be better.
So what you're saying is we got worse ever since we lost Fafa.
Well, our depth is crazy. And Steve Munoz is asking why so much anxiety. It isn't anxiety. I felt a little overconfident. Like I was going into this season and I was like, man, this team's better than last year's. We had a full episode on it. Like, yeah, this team is better than last year's. We're going to probably win Champions Cup June 2nd. Wow, how awesome is it going to be that Messi wins the Champions Cup and then a couple weeks later he starts the World Cup? Like I was feeling overconfident. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, the fuck? I'm overconfident because Allende is apparently going to pick up where he left off. Because Silvetti I saw him for 6 games, and that's it. I'm convinced that he's the answer. Because Baltasar Rodriguez is going to stay healthy. Because we have Luis Suarez as our backup striker. Like, I started thinking about it. I was like, maybe I got a little ahead of myself. Maybe we shouldn't be so overconfident. So it's not anxiety, but it's a little more a dose of reality. Like, oh, you know what? We shouldn't be too confident because we stacked up on our defense. I think our defense is going to be much better, but the attack, I don't know.
Well, what's scary about that is the fact that we had a better offensive attack last season in the beginning, and we did so awful that we were like looking at Mascherano like, dude, you got great players and you can't put up goals. I want to put up. Oh wait, I want to put up some comments. Keep that one in front of you. I made the joke on purpose, Pedri, so you can holler laughing with your fafas. Hash is saying if that's the case regarding Baltasar, then Ian Frey should not start because he's injury prone. Listen, Hash, that was the year prior. This past season, no, but what I'm saying is this past season, Ian Frey played throughout without any big injury. Considering his injury history, I mean, Ian Frey, when I look back at his performance for the entire season, he played 21 games, 1,200 minutes. Started 13 of them, obviously, because he's battling garbage Lujan and Chelo Weigand. And then now we can go to 89 J Stubbs. Says that we're never happy.
I'm happy.
Then,
I'm no longer
saying we're born for the drama, born for it.
We're literally battered herons. And then Stanley saying Danny gets pessimistic at times. Remember when the team won and Danny spent the whole episode screaming about how horrible the team was? And you know what? I ended up being right. It was the 5-1 win over Columbus. I thought we looked like crap. But Messi had his Messi magics with I think it was like bad errors by Columbus, maybe like a set piece here and there. I don't remember how it went down, but I remember thinking like this team is horrible. And then I remember the game or two after they got their ass kicked, and everybody's like, "Oh, Danny was right." And I remember you walked away, and you were like, "Oh, what a great game! Ha ha ha!" I'm gonna walk away, and you came back. You're like, "What the fuck happened?"
Yeah. Can you put up a poll? I think we need a poll put up. I need you to put the poll up.
Okay.
Like, you need to put a poll up saying, like, are we better this year than last? Because Miami King is saying here, I didn't choose the better team this year in the last poll. That's the reason. We need better winger/striker. Then we are a better team than last year. Guys, we do have, quote-unquote, Luis Suarez as a, quote-unquote, backup, right? That's considering if we're not going to start him. But technically, we still have Obando roaming in the clouds. We have Baltasar somewhere out there talking to someone in an Inter Miami office uniform. And other than that, Allende has no backup. We have Custodian for the right side of the stadium as his backup.
The thing is, this team is incomplete. And ultimately, that's what it comes down to. This team is incomplete. They still need, because they can't go into the season with this lack of depth at wing. Like last year, we had Fafa. We had come on, like we had more depth. I think I'm missing somebody, but we also had Luis Suarez as the starter. We had Robert Taylor when we started the year last year, didn't we? Didn't we have Robert Taylor last year also? Like we had depth at wing, and now it's just I don't know.
We signed Mo Salah in the summer. Trust?
No.
Trust?
No.
Put the house on that? Oh, Nicholas Rodriguez coming in, nagged me in the summer. Now, there's a comment here. J Stubbs is saying, aren't we keeping our 3 top goal scorers? Our 3 top goal scorers are Messi, Allende, and Suarez. We're saying we're keeping Messi, of course. Allende, yes. And then Suarez as a backup. And this is regular seasons. Again, I think you're starting to bend the crowd a little bit here, Danny. Pepto Bismol Guardiola saying it's very concerning. They ain't bringing any forwards. Without Alba and Busquets, the attack won't be as strong this year unless this Ayala kid can create. This is kind of scary to me because after watching so many highlights, the creation that Busquets did, and Alba, but more Busquets, like he's a magician. And we're going to lose that.
Well, look, if we're talking about the team overall, right now we're just talking about the attack, right? The forwards. If David Ayala can give you some of what you're imagining we're going to lose with Busquets, I think that will improve in that aspect. I'm sorry, not improve, but we won't fall too far back in that aspect. I think having Rodrigo de Paul and Segovia in the midfield is going to help with the attack also, but that's coming from the midfield. I was just talking about the forwards, and I really do think that the forwards are questionable. Again, I'm not saying they're going to be horrible. I'm not saying that this team is going to suck. I'm not saying we're not going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying that we have questions here and maybe some concern because these are questions that I don't see when they're going to get answered because they haven't been answered yet, and there is a lack of depth. Now, guys, maybe in the next 2 weeks they surprise us and we get the Moises Pintagua, whatever his name, Panti, I don't know what the hell's his name, Panti Sucia, some shit. I don't know. Panti? Yeah, something. So I know it's Panti something. So maybe we get this kid and all of a sudden we feel better about our situation at wing. But until then, I don't know how I'm feeling. And I'm gonna close it's Pantiagua is what Stancy's saying. Pan y agua.
So you're gonna
pan y agua.
Oh,
like
pan
jail.
y agua.
It's like jail. 2026 won 71% of the poll. Chose 2026 as one. Yeah, this year. This season's better than last year, according to 71% of the vote. Yeah.
They basically told you you know what, guys? According to Danny, we're done. Season's over, guys.
Yeah, season's over. Not me. That's what you say.
No, you're literally saying season's over.
Is that what I said?
I feel like that's what you said. That's what I kind of translated it to.
I said
season's over.
There's no reason to be over. At least, again, I'm talking about myself. I was overconfident. And then when I really started looking at it, I was like, you know what? What if Allende goes back to 2025 Allende from the regular season? Danny did not say that. But what happens if this guy goes back to last year And what is Silbetti? All of a sudden, he's okay, but he's not as good as we thought. And then Baltasar is chilling up in Baptist Hospital for the next 3 months. What do we do then? Well, okay, so let's change formation, or let's start Luis Suarez. Like, I'm not saying that this team's going to be bad, okay? So let me keep saying this, because yes, and I know Chris loves to feed these flames. I know. I'm not saying that the team is bad or that the team is cooked. I'm saying that I am no longer overconfident because there is a lack of depth, and what we are relying on is questionable. That's all I'm saying. A lot of nothing has been said this episode. Really? Okay. If you listen to this and you're like, no, I feel pretty confident. Allende's still going to be the Golden Boot winner next year. Silbetti is going to be the baller. Baltasar Rodriguez won't miss any games. Messi's going to play the false nine. Luis Suarez is going to be the backup. And all things are great. We don't need any depth at the wings. If you listen to this episode and you thought that, okay.
I do look. I
was just bloviating here.
I do think that your argument holds some weight. We don't have as much depth at this moment than we did last season. Do I think that'll change? Yeah, I think that there's going to be moves to be made. I do feel more comfortable because we did sort of bolster the defense, which is great. That's definitely always a plus. But I feel like we could be able to bolster the offense a little bit later. We still got time. The summer transfer window is going to open up too.
No, but yeah, by then we're really going to sign like a DP and everything. Pedri,
yeah.
So in your world, Pedri, you don't think that there's any issues. You think the depth is good. You're good. You're happy with the way this team is. We're good. Like we're like, oh, we're going to get another player. Tristan Blackmon. Guess what? Another defender. That's it. Everybody's good.
And everybody's stoked for Tristan Blackmon.
Yo, let's call DC. Let's call DC and see if we can get Sean Johnson while we're at it also. Let's add another goalie. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's go all in. Let's have a all-star backup goalie while we're at it. Let's go. Are there any other defenders that are available? Let's keep getting them in. Sergio Ramos. I heard that he's looking for a home. Let's call up Sergio Ramos. Let's bring him in. Let's keep adding to the defense.
Let's go get Yedlin.
Let's go.
You guys got him mad. We're cooked this season.
That's it. We're good. That's it. Let's just keep adding to the defense. Fuck it.
Well,
let's just go. What would you get into the playoffs with 34 points? Because if we could just go 0-0, 0-0 for 34 games and we get 34 points, I think we might get into the play-in. Fuck it. Kamal Miller. Let's go. Kamal Miller. It might be available. I heard it, and this isn't a lie. This is actual fact. Him and St. Clair are actually best friends. Let's call Kamal Miller. He might come over to play with his boy. Let's go. Let's keep stacking up on the defense.
Guys, Danny has projected a 0-0 draw.
34 games
all season. 34 games, one pointers.
St. Clair's going to win goalie of the year again. 34 clean sheets for St. Clair.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
No, it's impossible. You have Messi. He's going to score, but
look.
All right.
Kamal's going to score bangers from outside the box.
Kamal, Big Wales, Miller. I miss him. He's probably the best defender we've ever had, right? Center back?
Yes.
Up until now?
Wow. That's a good question. Yeah, I think so.
I think he's the best center back we've had in our short history.
I think so.
Falcone is going to be up there also, maybe after this season. But right now, I think Kamal Miller's been the best one. Pedri, shut the fuck up. You never even watched Kamal Miller. He doesn't even know who he doesn't even know who Kamal Miller is. Oh my God, Pedri, you're pissing me off today.
Sean Callahan, yes. It does count as an undefeated season.
It does count as an undefeated season.
Oh man, who would have thought, huh? We're cooked 0-0 rest of the season. And we probably lost like half the viewers because now we just dropped our team into the toilet.
Look, I think this team's going to be good. I think it's still going to be great. I'm just questioning the depth. Because if Allende can't duplicate what he did in the playoffs, then we're in trouble. If he does, then we're good.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. If Allende can keep going what he was doing, then we're good. We're great. We might score more than 81 goals this year. If Silvetti is as good as we saw him in those 6 games, then we're good. What I'm just saying is that those are 2 big question marks that we're kind of relying on.
Like I said, I do think that your argument holds weight. I think it's fair to be a little skeptical of the wingers that we have. I mean, not that many games on the left wing for both players. And then you got Allende, who's been pretty inconsistent. So, like, I completely understand where you're coming from. And yes, Danny needs a Snickers bar. And Steve Munoz with a good point here. He said, but the team never said they were done signing players. Relax, fam. Eat a Snickers. That's what I'm saying. I think we're gonna sign people.
Apparently, they're bringing Tristan Blackmon. All right, yay! That should fix our issues at wing.
Well, I mean, he played a wing right back?
Yeah, right back.
You never know.
Any final words there, Chris?
No, man. I mean, the whole season is just fucking done. We're cooked. We're done.
I didn't say that, man.
We're getting a wooden spoon here. Like, we're done.
I can't be critical of what I'm saying. Okay.
Season's over, guys.
All right.
Best of luck.
I would love an arepa right now. All right. If you're listening on audio, please leave us 5 stars and a comment. If you watch on YouTube,
go to the MLS channel.
Go to the Battered MLS if you want to hear about some underrated players. We're talking about the most underrated players in the MLS. And you guys say I'm dramatic. And yes, and go Canes. Did you hear about the prices for parking?
Oh, yeah, it's wild.
No. Wild? No, I can't. I haven't been able to find the right adjective. I haven't been able to write the right adjective for what it is. For those that are not aware, the University of Miami is playing the national championship game at home against Indiana this Monday.
Yeah.
The parking is $750 for fucking parking.
Because they know people are going to tailgate and watch the game there.
You're not allowed to get into there unless you have a ticket. They're going to check your ticket to go park.
Oh.
I'm lost for words. At some point, regular people like me, you, and some people in the chat, I'm sure some people look at that and they're like, yeah, it's not a big deal. But a lot of people, it is a big deal. You got to do something. Like, that parking lot needs to be empty, because if it's full, if that parking lot is full on Monday, good luck when the World Cup comes, because they're going to be like, you know what? Let's keep putting price gouging because people pay it anyway. At some point, people need to do something, because $750 for parking is disrespectful.
It is.
It's disrespectful.
But they're the Canes or the Hoosiers aren't controlling that. Like, that's 1,000% Ticketmaster or whatever.
It's disrespectful, is what it is.
The NCAA. That's the NCAA. No,
I think it's Stephen Ross.
No, gonna do that to the Canes fans? That's crazy, bro.
Okay. They don't care. All right. Again, appreciate everybody, and yes, I love capitalism also, but it needs to. Sometimes it goes a little overboard, and the people that are the consumers need to regulate that by not buying into it. But whatever, that's a whole conversation for another day. Appreciate you guys, and we'll be back. I don't know, at some point. Make sure you have your notifications on, and if you are not a member and you're gonna be a member, we appreciate that. Also, become part of the Boy Batter family. Make sure that you do it through the browser, because it's $4.99 through the browser. If you do it through the app, they charge you $6.99, because apparently somebody else said that Apple, like Google, when you do the app, they charge like a fee.
Apple, it's more. If it's through an Android, it's $4.99.
Well, whatever. Just make sure that you do the $4.99, and we'll have our first episode next Tuesday. As of right now, yes. Are the member streams only in the mornings? As of right now, yes. Okay, that's how we're gonna start. We're gonna be working the kinks out as we go this year, but that's how we're starting. All right. So again, appreciate everybody, and until the next one,
MLS channel.
Have a good one.